Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi, and today we have two very special ladies running for Cook County Circuit Court Clerk and Cook County State's Attorney, Diane Shapiro and Lori Yokoyama. And you know what is exciting to me as a Republican woman is having Republican women be represented on the ballot. Because, ladies, what do you hear from your voters that, oh, you know, the Democrats are more friendly to women? I want to ask you guys what you think of that real quick.
Well, I think one of the things that you mentioned, Carol, initially was this misconception that the Republican Party is made up of all Caucasian men. And I think truly by Diane being here, myself being here, we're proving that to be the misconception. We are very strong women. We support the platform of the Republican Party.
You get your rights from government, right?
Absolutely. And this is something that really we're to becoming active in politics. We've had a lot of people talk, but nobody does. Talk is very cheap. Mm-hmm. In order to really do what we're doing, we really have to believe in what we're doing. Running for public office, to me, is the highest honor one can do. To be elected to serve the people and to do the job you were elected to do. What a blessing. And so many of these kleptocrats have turned their elected position into a cash cow for themselves.
I didn't know the
Political
kleptocrat party was present in the state of Illinois.
The political entitlement programs.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the other name.
It's
the other name for the Democrats.
That's how they keep the poor in
kleptocrat
check.
party.
They are infantilizing the poor while they impoverish the wealthy. They are leading this class warfare struggle that is so embarrassing that it's like nobody reads history. Do they not see? This is exactly what was going on a century ago, setting the wealthy being attacked by the poor, when in fact our nation was built, established, designed by people who came here for the opportunity to do something, to become extremely successful. Every opportunity is available to you. Enough of the government entitlements.
Did any of you ladies watch the circus that they call the DNC?
When Obama recited the Declaration of Independence.
It was Clinton.
No, when he, in a speech of his a little while ago, he left out that the rights are given,
endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
He left the Creator out of it.
And the platform, did you ladies notice how interesting was? They left God and Jerusalem out of the platform.
I lived in Israel. I was furious. My family, my ancestors came to, in 1934, then British Mandate Palestine. My cousin Yehuda came with David Ben-Gurion to then Palestine. He passed away at 93 a few years ago. Yes, I lived in Israel. I speak Hebrew. I am a Jew on both sides, and I'm very proud of who I am. And when I saw them having to vote to bring back Jerusalem and bring back God, I know that the Democratic Party is gone. It's gone. It has been co-opted by some very nefarious
with all this high binding about the Islamic nations that our president is kowtowing to, it's worth noting, can anybody recollect any successful Islamic countries right next door to little Israel, which is immensely successful, run primarily by businessmen? But the so-called ethics of the Arabs, they want to cut your head off if you don't agree with them.
Talk about empowering women.
Islam, you can practice Christianity, you can practice Judaism, you can practice Zoroastrianism, and not be in fear of being persecuted or murdered.
Right.
Or beheaded. Or stoned.
But none of the Islamic countries will allow you to practice anything else. But we're getting way off topic here. I want to hear about Cook County Circuit Clerk position. Who are you running against?
I'm running against Dorothy Brown, who has been in the job for over 12 years. Enough is enough. She was elected 12 years ago to do the job of cleaning up the courts, maintaining the court files, being an honorable dignified leader.
This was the goal. Did she attain it?
She has not. She is an absentee landlord. She never goes to the courts. She claims she's improved the technology. I'm here to tell you, I worked in the courts for over 30 years, and I was an investigator with the Adult Probation Department. The Circuit Court Clerk system is from the 1980s, and they're still using carbon paper to make duplicate court documents. I wish I were joking. Dorothy Brown is an exemplar of the kleptocracy here in Cook County. She never met a fundraiser she didn't like.
She's a kleptocrat.
And she never is in the courthouses. When I'm elected as the next Cook County Circuit Court Clerk, I plan on being in every courthouse. I have worked in every courthouse. Bridgeview, Rolling Meadows, Markham, Maywood, the 6 main district courthouses. It's easier to say the courthouses I didn't work in than those that I did work in. I want to be full-time, hands-on. I want to hire military veterans that are returning from Iraq and Afghanistan, first and foremost.
To do what? To hire them
to work in the offices, because I believe that if you defended our country, we owe you a job. Step aside low-level patronage. Step aside people who don't belong in the job that you have.
Well, the Democrats have got a simple rule. The Democrats have a simple rule for employing people for political jobs. It's, we don't want nobody sent. Well, you have to be sent down from somebody that got sent down by somebody else previously.
It will change with Diane Shapiro. I worked in all of the Operation Grayler courtrooms. I know about corruption in the courts. I remember very well what went on in the courthouse. And my reward for keeping my nose clean was, thank you very much, working security on the front door at 51st and Wentworth. My name and ethics are more important to me than any money in the world.
Diane, let me ask you, the mayor, a funny little Democratic mayor we had that ran this city into financial ruin and has finally gone off to his reward, not his death, but to his inflated pension. Did he take the deals with him, or are the Democrats still making the deals about who gets the jobs?
You know, I'm not sure, but I can promise you one thing, that for myself, it would be my honor to give employment to people who served our country. It will be my honor to be in the courts.
Isn't this the time to make a turnover when the old deals are actually broken? Because the one participant that was a mastermind, of all of the deals going on in Chicago, and he's gone now. That does mean there's a lot of insider deals that have lost their connection.
Mayor Daley,
the payoff, if there was.
He's working for Leah's Parking Meter Company.
People of a
He's
felony.
working for Pepsi.
Huh?
The mayor, Daley,
yeah,
has taken not only his pensions, but he's working for the very same parking meter company, Leah's Parking.
Oh, what a bad deal that was for us.
We need ethical leaders. We have to demand, demand that they serve us in the way that they were elected to serve. We cannot accept the politicians, and I'm a public servant, which I did for over 30 years.
One Gauleiter, there's a word you would understand.
Yes, I do.
That's the boss of the prison camps.
Yes.
The little Gauleiter
the
has gone. Is his spawn going to be a Gauleiter to the city?
Yes, in no uncertain terms.
But I'm sorry, Diane, did you want to say something?
No, I'm saying in no uncertain terms. And someone like Lori, someone like me, we know how to work together to not only improve the courts, but to make everything move faster through the courts. No buddy-buddy deals. It's like, this is the law. This is justice.
Lori, what's the biggest
friendship.
problem in the circuit, the Cook County State's Attorney? What do you see as the biggest problem?
Well, I think clearly one misconception is that because the little guy, as Jack refers to him, is gone, that doesn't mean that corruption comes to a close and that it has stopped. In fact, there's a case involving one of Mayor Daley's nephews. And his name was Richard Vaneco. I'm sure people are still remembering this case because after 8 years, of trying to get some answers. The case is now resurfaced due to an investigative reporter by one of our local newspapers. And essentially what happened is there was a young gentleman by the name of David Koshman who was murdered in 2004. And it was Richard Vaneco, Daley's nephew, who was the one who punched this gentleman who died about 11 days after the incident occurred. And it was our current state's attorney.